Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers for Friday, June 20th, state that Emma Scorpio Drake and Giovanni Gio Palmieri will have an unexpected encounter, which could entail the beautiful dog shown in the preview clip. Could this dog be a part in Vaughn's plot to fool Emma? Perhaps Vaughn will claim to have lost his dog in order to spark a conversation about his love of animals and his desire to preserve their rights. Emma might encourage Vaughn to join her animal rights group, giving him an easy way to manipulate her, as Jocelyn Jack suggested. On Friday's GH episode, Kai Taylor will raise some red flags when he informs Trina Robinson about the paid employment that Drew Kane has offered him. Trina will undoubtedly be concerned about this internship and Drew's tendency to tangle Kai in his web. At the gallery, Nina Reeves will speak with Ava Jerome about the custody crisis and Willow Tate's post-courtroom hospitalization. Nina would acknowledge it was everything she dreaded, and even worse. Nina may be concerned that Drew will take advantage of Willow's emotional distress and vulnerability. While Ava advises Nina, Drew will check in with Willow to see whether she has given any thought to his marriage proposal. Willow is about to make a huge announcement, so she may accept the offer and proceed with her wedding arrangements. Christina Corinthos Davis will issue a warning to Michael Corinthos by the pool, giving him the impression that she is referring to anything specific. Christina may drop indications about a predicament she's dealing with, but she should keep quiet regarding the car incident and the subsequent blackmail drama. Drew will also have another talk with Martin Gray and hopes Tracy Quartermaine will play ball. Tracy recently received an offer from Martin, so she has the opportunity to put an end to the drugging plot by holding a press conference and welcoming Drew back to the Quartermaine family. Tracy rejected the proposal, but Martin suspects she may reconsider. Tracy appears to be open to more negotiations, since she will feel backed into a corner on Friday's broadcast. Elsewhere, Anna Devane will inform Sonny Corinthos that today is the day of reckoning, and there is nothing he can do about it. Acting DA Justine Turner is pursuing Sonny and hoping to take advantage of the situation with Natalia Ramirez. But will she be successful? Regardless, Jen Sidwell is still conspiring against Sonny and engaging in deceptive behavior that affects his family. The episode just revealed that Sidwell paid Judge Eva Heron to decide in Michael's favor, indicating that he still has some tricks up his sleeve. According to General Hospital teasers, Sonny and Sidwell's animosity will continue to throw curveballs, so stay tuned for more unpleasant news. General Hospital spoilers claim that Willow Tate received the worst news of her life in court when Michael Corinthos was awarded exclusive custody of their children. Willow was devastated when Wiley and Amelia Corinthos died, and she quickly spiraled out of control and had to be hospitalized. In a new interview with SOD, Caitlin McMullen discussed Willow's grief and escape from reality. The GH actress eventually went so far as to call it, in a sense, a mental breakdown. Of course, just because Willow has been discharged does not mean she is fine. Even now that Willow has returned to the home she lives with Drew Kane, it is clear that she is still feeling hazy and disoriented. I think she definitely snapped. She definitely had a moment where she snapped in the courtroom, and I think that there is a little bit of delayed processing, maybe even like she's kind of losing it a little bit as she's trying to cope with this feeling of emptiness, according to McMullen. Willow is having difficulty adjusting to life without Amelia and Wiley, so it's understandable that she's losing her mind right now. Willow's custody loss has had a significant impact on her present plot, which will continue to drive it. McMullen certainly couldn't reveal any significant plot information, but she did drop some fascinating hints about what's next. Willow's situation appears to be deteriorating rather than improving. When it comes to Willow's mental health, McMullen confirmed that anything is possible and emphasized the unpredictability of the situation. As Caitlin McMullen concluded the interview, she encouraged viewers to expect the unexpected. That could point to Willow doing some truly outrageous moves as her mental state deteriorates. Willow may have been responsible for moving Daisy Gilmore Corinthos to the incorrect bassinet in the nursery, according to CDL. Willow could have caused Sasha Gilmore Corbin's momentary baby mix-up. In the episode from June 18th, someone spied on Michael, Sasha, Wiley, Amelia, and Daisy via a Quartermaine mansion window. It may have been Willow if she had run from Drew's house rather than resting as he recommended. Someone will also hover over Daisy's crib in the June 19th episode, so Willow may be doing all of this while blacked out. McMullen basically told fans to brace themselves for more Willow mental health surprises, so it'll be interesting to watch how chaotic this story goes. According to General Hospital spoilers, Willow's escape from reality could end in disaster, so keep an eye out for updates on the mayhem. Emma and Gio have an unforgettable encounter on the next episode of General Hospital. Willow makes an announcement. Tracy feels besieged. In addition to Emma and Joe's momentous encounter, General Hospital teasers for Friday, June 20, 2025, will show Ava imparting advice to Nina. Christina also warns Michael. Next on General Hospital, Emma and Gio had lately experienced traumatic or dramatic events, with Gio more so than Emma. He is still reeling after discovering that his entire existence was a deception, and that he is the son of Brooklyn Quartermain and Dante Falconeri. Meanwhile, Emma's rival, Joss, beat her to the all-important lab assistant post for Professor Dalton. Emma is now unable to attain the justice she seeks. She'll try anyway. Throughout it all, the two have been there for one another. Emma came through for Gio as his life exploded. While they regularly support each other, they also manage to flirt occasionally. So it's not surprising to see the latest Gemma-centric teaser, which claims Emma and Gio share a memorable experience. Let us hope that nothing or no one disrupts whatever is going on here. They deserve to be happy before their lives become even more hot this summer. Join the Soap Hub community and make your opinions matter. Comment, advice and announcements. Vicious adversaries Ava and Christina appear in Friday's episode, although they do not necessarily face off against each other. First, Ava counsels Nina, who is desperate for help after allowing Drew to gain the upper hand. And now he's using what he knows to get her to toe the line. Ava will hopefully come up with the ideal strategy to help Nina outwit Drew's approaches. Second, Christina warns Michael. This could be related to the Willow and Drew factor. She might remind him that he cannot let his defenses down, especially with Drew in charge. Speaking of ex-misses, Michael Corinthos, expect her to make an announcement. The shattered mom who lost her children to Michael may be ready to tell Drew if she will marry him. Don't underestimate Tracy. Finally, Tracy feels cornered, undoubtedly by Martin through Drew Kane. Drew has already been offered a deal. She'll give him his cherished Quartermain name if he admits he framed Tracy for his drugging. Tracy usually fights her way out of a corner. Please tell us what occurs here. Things were not as they appeared in the courtroom during Michael and Willow's custody struggle on General Hospital. The episode from June 19, 2025 showed who was responsible for the surprising verdict. Custody curiosity. Michael now lives with all of his children, as well as several loved ones, including Sasha and Jason in Quartermain. Although Michael intends to stay at the estate just temporarily, Jason proposed that he relocate himself and the children in to be closer to Daisy and Sasha. However, it was a talk between Lucas and Marco that raised some doubt. When the issue of Michael's custody arose, the lawyer and Marco stated that it was unusual for a judge to deny visits to the mother. That's when the picture shifted to Sidwell, who thanked the judge for giving Michael full custody. Join the Soap Hub community and make your opinions matter. Comment. Sidwell recently made a connection with Drew, but could this all be an act? Perhaps he ensured Michael's custody in order to win over Sonny, who is still wary of the Port Charles newcomer. Pride and Prejudice. Meanwhile, at everyone's favorite axe-throwing place, Lucas and Marco discuss more than simply Michael. As Pride Month continues, the budding pair talked about their personal experiences coming out and their parents' embrace. Lucas claimed that both of his parents, including the gangster, accepted him, but Marco stated that his father, Sidwell, has always been welcoming, but his mother, Natalia, refuses to accept who he is. Why do you believe Sidwell paid the judge to grant Michael full custody? Please let us know in the comments. On General Hospital, a trio of heroines have gone crazy, acting unethically, acting dramatically out of character, and behaving really horribly. Lulu, Willow, and Christina are becoming progressively unlikable as the weeks pass. Before they individually reach the point of no return, here are a few things you can do to mend them and restore them to the attractive young women viewers previously knew and loved. Losing Lulu. Remember when Lulu was the one to root for during her spat with Brooklyn? Those days are long gone. Since Havens was cast in the popular role, The character has been portrayed as a sanctimonious busybody who meddles with Brooke Lynn's past, reveals the long-held secret of Joe's paternity, and disrupts everyone's lives. Enough already. Apologizing to Gio was a wonderful start, but Lulu still has a lot of work to do. She needs to accept her mistakes and make serious atonement to Brooke Lynn. Then, to really help her get back in the good graces of the viewers, she could devote her time to assisting Gio in accepting Brooke Lynn as his mother and Dante as his father, thus reuniting the new family she played a role in creating. Willow who? Willow was one of Port Charles's nicest and sweetest women for many years. She was deeply committed to Michael and their 2 children. Join the soap hub community and make your opinions matter. Comment. That is, until she succumbed to her love for Drew and lost all control of her emotions. She suddenly left the Quartermaine mansion with children Wiley and Amelia in tow, suing Michael for custody. Willow has been depressed and shattered since she collapsed at the courthouse and was brought to the hospital after the judge granted Michael full custody of their children. Signs of her kinder and gentler personality have emerged as she realizes she has lost the family she once loved. Willow needs to wake up, recognize Drew for the cunning crook he is, and terminate all links with him. The cherry on top would be helping Curtis bring him down, which would very surely help Willow gain favor with GH fans. Christina goes wild. Christina had always been a bit of a wild child, the complete opposite of her grounded younger sister Molly. But in the last 2 years she's gone from eccentric and fun to downright annoying. After blaming Ava for her miscarriage, she attempted to kill her, only to cut the brakes on the incorrect automobile, resulting in Elizabeth and Rick's car accident. Now she's hiring Cody to seduce Ava and tear off her relationship with Rick. How do you deal with a spiraling Christina? Therapy would be an excellent first step. To be honest, Alexa's first suggestion to have her kid committed was a decent one. Christina needs severe therapy to overcome her fixation with Ava and need for vengeance. Only then will she be able to move on with her life and rediscover her old lovable self. A stunning custody victory shakes Port Charles. On the June 19th episode of General Hospital, fans were left in disbelief when the judge handed Michael Corinthos full custody of Wiley. While many expected a difficult legal tug-of-war between Michael and Willow against Nina Reeves, the final verdict came with a twist no one saw coming, and the person behind Michael's legal win might shock even the most dedicated viewers. The legal battle intensifies. The courtroom showdown was already emotionally charged, with Nina fighting for visitation and joint custody rights as Wiley's biological grandmother. Though she had a history of mental health issues and legal missteps, Nina had managed to sway public opinion and gather character witnesses, including some who painted Michael as vindictive and controlling. Meanwhile, Michael and Willow worked to present a united front, focused on stability, safety, and Wiley's emotional well-being. Diane Miller, Michael's attorney, stressed that Nina's past impulsiveness and her tendency to escalate conflict made her unfit for shared custody. Still, the hearing appeared too close to call, until an unexpected piece of evidence surfaced. A secret influencer comes to light. As it turns out, someone very influential in Port Charles may have quietly stepped in to sway the outcome. Rumors now point toward none other than Carly Spencer. Carly's long-standing rivalry with Nina is no secret. Their animosity has only intensified since Nina exposed Carly's secret about Willow's parentage, not to mention the damage Nina caused to the Corinthos family's dynamic by keeping Sonny's survival in Nixon Falls a secret. So, it wouldn't be out of character for Carly to take matters into her own hands to ensure that Nina would be cut off from Wiley's life permanently. Sources close to the courtroom say a confidential statement was submitted to the judge, anonymously, painting Nina as unstable and referencing previously unreported outbursts. Some believe Carly may have pulled strings or used her influence in the community to get the right people on her side. Even more suspicious? Just hours before the ruling, Carly was spotted having a tense conversation with the judge in a back hallway, though what was said has been kept under wraps. Diane may be in on it too. Legal expert Diane Miller also seemed unusually confident before the verdict. While she's always been a sharp strategist, her certainty appeared to go beyond courtroom facts. Could Diane have known about the behind-the-scenes maneuvering? And if so, did she keep Michael in the dark to preserve his credibility? The speculation only deepens the mystery. Michael has always tried to take the high road, but if his victory came from a manipulated ruling, how will he handle the fallout when the truth emerges? Michael is torn over the win. Following the judge's decision to grant him full custody, Michael was visibly relieved, but conflicted. He knows how much Wiley's future matters, but there's no denying the personal cost. Nina was left devastated, and Willow, always striving to be fair, appeared unsure about whether the outcome truly reflected justice or a vendetta. Michael's conscience may soon lead him to question how the case was really won. If Carly did in fact interfere, and Michael learns about it, it could spark a serious rift in their relationship. Nina is down, but not out. Nina, for her part, is far from giving up. Though heartbroken and humiliated, she's more determined than ever to reclaim her place in Wiley's life. Her relationship with Sonny might also take a hit, especially if she suspects he knew about the backroom dealings and said nothing to defend her. Adding fuel to the fire, Nina may seek out Martin Gray for a legal appeal, or even take her case to the media. If she can prove bias or undue influence, the entire custody decision could be overturned. And if she learns that Carly had any involvement, Nina might go scorched earth. Ripple effects across Port Charles. This shocking custody ruling doesn't just affect the main players. It's causing waves across Port Charles. Willow is stuck in the middle, feeling pressure from both Michael and Nina. Drew Kane, caught in Carly's orbit, may soon find himself implicated if he helped her gather damaging information. Even Sonny could lose trust on both sides, especially if he failed to step in when it mattered most. Tracy Quartermaine, always ready to stir the pot, may use this situation to manipulate those around her. And let's not forget Ava Jerome, who has her own issues with Nina and might see this as an opportunity to cozy up to Sonny again. What happens next? Now that Michael has full custody, all eyes are on what comes next. Will Carly admit her role in the outcome? Can Michael stay on the moral high ground if the truth gets out? And what will Nina do? Retreat quietly or retaliate? Port Charles is bracing for the next shockwave, and with secrets bubbling to the surface, no relationship is safe. Stay tuned, because the fallout from this custody bombshell has only just begun. Nina spirals as her world collapses. The courtroom is still echoing with the final gavel strike when Nina Reeves storms out, barely holding herself together. Her face, usually composed, shows the cracks of heartbreak, fury, and disbelief. She had prepared herself for a tough outcome, but not for total exclusion from Wiley's life. Behind closed doors, Nina fumes. She's convinced this wasn't a fair ruling, not by a long shot. In her mind, someone with serious power leaned hard on the justice system, and she has one name in mind: Carly. As much as Nina wants to lash out immediately, she knows she needs to be strategic. Her lawyer Martin Gray advises patience and a formal appeal. But Nina isn't just interested in overturning the verdict. She wants the truth and payback. Willow's emotional conflict. Back at the Quartermaine estate, Willow is trying to process everything. On paper, they won. Wiley is now fully in their care, safe from the chaos Nina could bring. But something about the win doesn't sit right. Willow knows Carly too well to believe she just stood on the sidelines. And though Michael hasn't said anything, his silence feels loud. She confronts Michael gently, asking if there was help behind the scenes. He insists that their attorney won the case based on merit. But Willow catches a flicker of hesitation in his eyes. "I want to believe this was fair," Willow tells him. "But if it wasn't, then we have to be honest about that, for Wiley's sake, not ours." Michael doesn't respond right away. And that silence speaks volumes. Carly isn't backing down. At her Metro Court office, Carly reviews security footage, deletes texts, and makes a few calls, all designed to ensure there's no trail linking her to the anonymous affidavit that changed the judge's mind. She's calculated, calm, and convinced she did the right thing. To her, Wiley is the priority. Nina has proven too volatile and self-serving to be trusted with any access. Carly believes she protected the child, even if she had to cross a line to do it. But her confidence falters when she runs into Sonny. He's not buying her innocence, and he asks point blank, "Did you interfere with Nina's custody case?" Carly raises an eyebrow. "You really want to know the truth?" That question hangs between them like a sword. Martin starts digging. Meanwhile, Martin Gray can't shake the feeling that Nina was railroaded. As an experienced attorney, he's familiar with courtroom nuance. Something felt off. The judge's sudden change in demeanor, the quick wrap-up, and the unusual amount of sealed exhibits. Martin starts reviewing everything. He pulls favors from court clerks, rereads affidavits, and requests a copy of the anonymous witness statement that swayed the ruling. The name is redacted, but the phrasing sounds personal. Someone with intimate knowledge of Nina's past. And it just so happens to include references to incidents never publicly documented, except by Carly. Martin knows he's close. And when he gets proof, he'll use it, even if it costs someone their place at the Corinthos family table. Nina's plan B, go public. With her legal options limited for now, Nina shifts focus. She's a powerful woman in her own right, with access to media influence and more importantly, a voice. She contacts a journalist friend. One who's already been sniffing around about corruption in Port Charles. Nina doesn't reveal everything, but she hints at judicial tampering and political interference in a high-profile custody case. If she can't win in court, she'll win in the court of public opinion. The next edition of the Port Charles Press could ignite a firestorm. Jason warns Michael. Jason hears about the verdict and the rumors swirling around it. He quietly visits Michael and delivers a warning. If Carly rigged this for you, it won't stay buried. Michael insists he never asked for help, but Jason isn't here to assign blame. He's here to manage fallout. Make sure you're ready to fight another battle, Jason says. Because if this explodes, everyone's going to get scorched. Diane's dilemma. Even Diane Miller is having doubts. She suspects Carly may have acted outside legal channels, and while she didn't ask for details, she now worries her case might be tainted. If a challenge is filed, Diane's reputation could be on the line. She debates coming clean or distancing herself. But one thing is clear, this isn't over. The calm before the storm. As Wiley sleeps peacefully under the Quartermain roof, the adults in his life prepare for what's coming. Michael may have won, but he didn't win clean. Willow is torn between joy and guilt. Carly's house of cards may come crashing down. And Nina? Nina Reeves is done playing nice. Nina's next move. Revenge by exposure. In the quiet of her penthouse, Nina Reeves paces restlessly, her mind spinning with plans for retaliation. She's been humiliated in court, painted as an unstable, untrustworthy influence on Wiley, and worst of all, shut out of her grandson's life completely. But Nina is not someone who fades into the background. She rebuilds. She retaliates. Her first step is already in motion. She calls her contact at the Invader and arranges a confidential meeting. If the system was rigged, and all signs point to that, then the public deserves to know. Nina doesn't drop names yet, but the reporter is eager. A powerful custody case, high-profile families, and rumors of backroom influence? It's media gold. Nina won't stop until the narrative shifts. She's not the villain. Not anymore. Michael feels the weight of a tainted victory. At the Quartermain mansion, Michael can't sleep. He watches Wiley on the baby monitor, the child blissfully unaware of the war being waged around him. This was supposed to be a clean win, a moral one. But the way everything unfolded, the way the judge rushed through his final ruling, and Willow's increasingly probing questions, Michael can't shake the feeling that something underhanded helped him win. He confronts Diane the next day, asking her point blank, "Did you or anyone associated with my family submit something that tipped the scale?" Diane doesn't deny the possibility. She doesn't confirm it either. But her silence speaks louder than any admission. "You should enjoy your victory while you can," she says carefully. "Because if there's fallout, it won't just land on Carly, it'll hit you too." Willow caught in the middle. Willow, meanwhile, is struggling with the emotional toll. She knows Nina's flaws, her entitlement, her recklessness, her manipulations, but she also knows Nina's grief is real. Nina lost a daughter, then a grandson, and now has no family left to call her own. Part of Willow wants to shield Wiley, but another part aches with guilt. Was Nina truly dangerous or just painted that way? Did Willow allow her own anger over Nina's past mistakes to cloud her judgment? When Michael finally confesses that Carly may have played a role in the verdict, Willow's reaction is mixed, hurt, disappointed, and deeply troubled. "We said we wanted to do this the right way," she tells him. "Now I don't know if we did." Martin Gray makes a breakthrough. Martin isn't a man who leaves loose ends. He digs deeper into the mysterious affidavit that swayed the judge, following a paper trail and cross-referencing statements. Eventually, He traces language used in the affidavit to an old custody case, one that Carly had a front row seat to. It's too specific to be coincidence. Martin reaches out to the court clerk under the guise of clarification. With enough persuasion and a favor owed, he confirms his suspicion. Carly submitted the statement anonymously, and it was the key influence in the judge's decision. Armed with this knowledge, Martin prepares to file a motion for review. The battle is far from over, and Carly's secret is no longer safe. Carly's lie begins to unravel. Back at the Metro Court, Carly starts to feel the walls closing in. Sunny hasn't returned her calls. Diane is dodging direct answers. And now she's heard whispers from the invader about an exposé on judicial tampering. Jason finds her alone at the bar and pulls her aside. "They're coming for you," he says bluntly. Martin knows. Nina's stirring up the press. If this gets any bigger, it's not just your reputation on the line. It's Michael's custody of Wiley. Carly is quiet for a moment before she finally admits it. "I did it for Wiley. For Michael. For all of us," she says. Jason shakes his head. "Then you better be ready to fight. Because this isn't over." Nina's exposé drops and all hell breaks loose. The front page of the Invader Hits stands the next morning with a bold headline. "Custody rigged? Anonymous source exposes system manipulation in Corinthos case." The article doesn't name Carly directly. Not yet. But it includes damaging quotes, speculation from legal insiders, and court filing timelines that point to foul play. The public reaction is immediate. Online forums light up. Wiley's case becomes a hot topic on talk shows. And the judge who ruled on the case is forced to issue a statement defending the process, while privately launching an internal inquiry. Carly watches it all unfold on her tablet, her expression unreadable. Nina's confidence grows. For the first time in weeks, Nina feels in control. The exposé has created doubt, if not yet justice. She's even contacted a second attorney, a federal one, to examine the possibility of civil rights violations. This is no longer just about Wiley. It's about restoring her name. She meets with Martin and vows, "We're not just appealing. We're taking this all the way. I want my day in court. A real one." Martin nods. The war has officially begun. Courtroom bombshell. New hearing ordered. The backlash from the Invaders article is swift and unforgiving. Within days, the Port Charles legal community is abuzz with concern. The judge who ruled on Wiley's case finds herself under public scrutiny. With mounting pressure and a formal motion filed by Martin Gray, the court makes a stunning announcement. A custody rehearing has been scheduled. The official reasoning is new evidence suggesting potential outside influence. Though names aren't cited, everyone knows who the fingers are pointing at: Carly Corinthos. For Michael and Willow, the news sends shockwaves through their fragile calm. The victory they thought was secure now feels tainted and temporary. Michael confronts Carly. The trust shatters. Michael wastes no time. He marches straight into Carly's office at the Metro Court, anger boiling just under the surface. "You lied to me," he says, voice low but deadly serious. "You submitted that statement. You interfered in a legal case that involved my son." Carly tries to defend her actions. "I did what I had to do to protect Wiley. You know Nina. You've seen what she's capable of. That wasn't your call to make," Michael snaps. "I told you I wanted to do this the right way. You didn't respect that." Carly's lip trembles, but she refuses to back down. "I protected your family. If you can't see that." "I see it," Michael cuts her off. "I also see that you might have cost us everything." Sunny torn between two women. Meanwhile, Sunny is caught between two worlds. On one side is Carly, the mother of his children and a woman he still respects, despite their tangled past. On the other is Nina, the woman he loves and who now feels more betrayed than ever. Sunny meets with Nina at her gallery. She doesn't hold back. "You told me you weren't involved," she says. "But your silence says otherwise. How long have you known about Carly's scheme?" Sunny admits he had suspicions but no proof. "I didn't know for sure. And I didn't want to believe she'd go that far." "Well, now you do," Nina replies. "So whose side are you on?" Sunny hesitates. "Wiley's." But Nina hears the non-answer clearly. Her expression hardens. "Then stay out of my way." Willow's dilemma. What's right versus what's fair? Back at the Quartermain mansion, Willow is reeling. The ruling that once gave her peace now feels more like a stolen prize. She's heartbroken, not just for Wiley but for herself. She confides in Brooklyn, who offers a sympathetic ear. I wanted this to be over, Willow says. Not because we beat Nina, but because I believed we were doing the right thing. Brooklyn sighs. So what are you going to do? I don't know, Willow admits. If Carly's actions really tip the scale, then maybe Nina deserves another chance. It's a painful admission, one that could shake her entire family. Martin unleashes legal firepower. Martin is in his element. With proof that Carly submitted the pivotal statement and enough media attention to light a fire under the court seat, he prepares for the rehearing with one goal in mind: full reinstatement of Nina's visitation rights, and possibly shared custody. He's even discovered a key witness, a clerk who overheard a conversation about the anonymous affidavit's origin, and it leads straight to Carly. This time Nina isn't just going in with emotion. She's going in armed with facts. Jason intervenes, but will it be too late? Jason, ever the silent observer, finally steps in. He finds Carly alone and issues a quiet warning. You need to clean this up. Fast. I didn't think it would go this far, Carly says, clearly shaken. I just wanted to protect Wiley. Jason doesn't respond with judgment, just realism. There's still time to fix this. Offer Nina supervised visits. Drop opposition. End the war before someone gets hurt. Carly considers it. But the truth is, part of her still believes she was right. I'll think about it, she says. But Jason knows that may not be enough. New tensions in the rehearing room. As the rehearing begins, the courtroom is tenser than ever. Nina arrives flanked by Martin and reporters in the gallery. Michael sits beside Willow, who looks more conflicted than anyone expected. The judge enters and addresses both parties, stating plainly that previous evidence is under review due to potential tampering. Martin rises first. We are requesting not only visitation, Your Honor, but a formal review of custody. My client has been slandered and shut out without due process. Diane counters with the best legalese she can manage, but the damage is done. The judge schedules a full evidentiary hearing for next week. Until then, she grants Nina temporary supervised visitation, effective immediately. Carly's world is crumbling. Back at the Metro Court, Carly stares at her phone. Messages from Diane, from Jason, even from Sunny are piling up. But she can't bring herself to answer any of them. She's been many things over the years, a fighter, a protector, even a manipulator. But now she's also something else. Exposed. And the war she started may cost her not just her grandson, but her family, her allies, and maybe even her freedom.